Hi, my name is Tyler Provic from the General's Tent, tyler.provic.ca. I just got a new Nikon D7000 camera. I'm going to use it to make some videos of the miniatures I've been painting lately. Specifically, I've been painting some Victrix, Napoleonic Center Company, and Stovepipe Shakos. I'm painting them as incorporated militia for a Lundy's Lane scenario in the War of 1812. There's been some work I've been doing on the pants that I want to show off, mostly as a test for making videos. In the future, I'll be making videos of my in-progress painting. Now, I'm not the best painter in the world. I think I do pretty well, and I think anybody can learn from any painter as long as they're all willing to share and experiment and just grow as painters. Thank you.
Okay, here we are, take 56. Having some trouble, just bailed the whole unit of my painted Victrix infantry on the floor, which sucked, but they're all okay. Thank goodness they're plastic. So here is the guy I've been working on, primed with the new, for me anyways, the new Vallejo acrylic primer. I use brush on. I don't spray anything. I don't like spray cans. Experimented with an airbrush, but it's not working. Literally the airbrush is broken, so brush prime everything. Flush is my normal mix of beige red and mahogany brown. Highlight it up, and then some little experimentation going on in the red coats, which is scarlet and chocolate brown mix for the shade, going to scarlet, and then going to scarlet and Iraqi sand. The Iraqi sand was a nice find for me. I just tried it now, and it's a nice highlight for the scarlet. It doesn't look pink, it doesn't look orange. It's good. Could use a little bit more contrast, perhaps a higher highlight, but it works for me. It's a rank and file miniature, so it'll have to do. Onto the pants. I'll show you the original of a unit that I did not dump on the floor, and you can see what I've been doing. I've been washing after so I base, with the US blue gray pale. Everything is Vallejo colors, model colors, and dark blue gray 50-50 mix. And then I would wash with acrylic ink, Liquitex acrylic ink mixed with Liquitex Flow-Aid water, which is water and Flow-Aid, 1 part Flow-Aid to 10 parts water. And then some matte medium, Liquitex Fluid Matte Medium. It's a decent wash, but I'm not a big fan of washes. I started doing it because David Emery was doing it, and I wanted to see if I can get his results, but I don't like washes. I don't like washes. I don't like dry brushing, and because of that, I never developed the skills to do them, so I can never do them now, basically. So that's the normal stuff. Then I highlight up as normal. Not the most happy with that, and decided since I was experimenting, feeling good, I would brush in the shade instead of using a wash, letting a wash do my work. So I brush in the shade, which is my base coat plus dark green and black, and brush it in where the shadows would be. If necessary, I would leave a whole area in shade. I wasn't afraid of it. That out of the way. Get this guy without causing any more damage. Just leave it in shade if it's in shade. If there is no shade, just leave it again. It's one of those things that finding the right place to put shade is important. Same with highlights. People tend to want to shade and highlight everywhere. They're afraid of leaving a space empty because they think it'll look plain. But if it's not supposed to have a highlight, it's not supposed to have a shade, it looks weird. So leave it alone. So I brushed that in, and then I came back with white to my base and highlighted, and then finally came back with the base thinned down a little in order to just kind of clean things up. It's, I don't know, it's probably the same amount of time that it takes me to do that as it takes me to wash, if you consider the wash drying time, the fact that I have to come back in and clean up. Now I'm not happy with the wash, so it kind of makes this the way I'm going to go from now on, and I like it. So I just wanted to share that with you. Some of the other stuff I've been painting. I just came back from Can Games last weekend, so a week ago from today. I'm recording this Saturday, May 28th, and I painted some heavy gear miniatures. Try to line this up properly so it's in focus for you. So this is a Jaguar heavy gear, Northern heavy gear from DreamPod 9's Heavy Gear. Used Heavy Gear Blitz the game. They just released their field manual, which is a rules update, and what they've done is they've incorporated all the rules into the one update. So you don't have to get the update in your rule book and refer to the rule book for some rules and the update for the other rules. You just use the update for all your rules, and the army lists are still in the main book. They don't change. So I thought that was a good move. I like the new rules. I was in a tournament at Can Games, and I wanted to paint these guys up for it. Painted a squad of these guys. They came up pretty good. I tried to, again, if it's facing down, put a shade. If it's mid, if it's straight up and down, leave my mid. And then if it's light or facing upwards, I do a highlight. So in some cases, like inside the leg there, it's just shade. There's no highlight at all. It's just shade. And it works. You don't really see it, but it works. Same thing here. You can see the whole top of this is lighter than the side. And that's because this is catching more light. And then I took a little bit lighter, and I did an edge highlight there. I didn't do an edge highlight at the bottom because it wouldn't really be kicking up any more light than this would. Little bit of weathering there. Really proud of my hazard stripes and the V-engine exhaust stacks and the rocket pod. So pretty happy with them. Use the Fighting Piranha old decals. These are water slide decals. Their printing was a little misaligned, unfortunately. Quality wasn't what I was expecting, so I didn't use as many as I thought I would, but I used them. The new ones look a lot better. This is from 4 years ago. These are also the 4-year-old models from DreamPod 9. You can see here I've painted some miscasting, bad casting, that's battle damage. The casting had casting issues. You can see this impossible to clean mold line perhaps down the back of the gas tank. Just it's in an impossible to clean area. Now they have a new caster. Their stuff is much cleaner. I'm really looking forward to painting some. I picked some up at Can Games, so look forward to that. Probably after I finish these 1812 guys, these 4. So that's it for today. I'll try not to break any more of my miniatures. This is the brush I use for everything, by the way. It's the Raphael. I just got it, 8404 Kolinsky Sable. I was using Winsor & Newton Series 7, which were good brushes. I got them from Dick Blick. The first batch I got were great. They're Winsor & Newton branded. The second batch was Dick Blick branded, and they just were not as good. So I decided I'd switch it up. Went with the Raphael. I'm pretty happy with it. They're pretty bushy, and they're bushy when they're dry too. They kind of look scary. This is the number 1. This is the smallest brush I'll use for pretty much everything. That's the only brush I use on that whole miniature, except for obviously a big brush for priming. Here's the number 2, and this is dry, so you can see how bushy it gets. And you think, oh my god, but a little bit of spit, and it's got a good tip on it. So that's it. Give me a comment if you want to see more and what you want to see. I'm hoping to do some in-progress painting if I can get everything rigged up nice. Show you how I paint the stuff. If not, we might just do some more of these. Tell me if they're useful or not. I mean, it's basically like images, and there will be some images up, but there's a little bit of interaction, a little bit of narration. So let me know, and I will listen. Have a good night.